Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum. Straight talk about you and your money. Now from the BizTalk studios, here is Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's an interesting date today. An interesting date. I think the last I looked, today's date is December 7th. Now, when I woke up, NBC happened to be on. And this is not on NBC, I'm just telling you what was on. Not one mention on the news that today is Pearl Harbor Day. Not one mention that it was Pearl Harbor Day. Interesting. And I also bring that up because on 9/11, I guess the farther you get away from it, the less. The coverage of 9/11 this year was like not even close to what it used to be. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not making judgment. Just letting you know. Because there was pretty much no coverage today of December 7th. And I don't know if that's meaningful or not. Just letting you know. Hey, this is Investor's Edge. Serious talk about you and everything that affects you. Little comedy injected, but no comedy right now for obvious reasons. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our Twitter feed, which is now X. And if you want us to follow us on Twitter, go to X, put our name in, or press the button at GaryK.com. And of course, you can email me at any time. You just have to be nice. And everybody is. I really have no jackasses anymore sending me stupid. And it's okay to completely disagree with me. And it's okay for me to completely disagree with you. But I will be respectful unless, you know what the unless means these days. So as you know, we've been spending a few minutes every show talking about what happened in Israel. And every day that goes by, more stunning things show up. So let me just give you a little bit of updates so you know. The cowardly pieces of crap, terrorists, they're being caught in droves now. They are putting down their arms as the Israeli military is walking through Gaza. And as I said to you, if those terrorists walk through that festival without any guns, the Israeli women would have beaten the crap out of them. That's what kind of losing wimps these are. That's what they are, cowards, losers, wimps. They're real brave when they got the guns on them. Now, please don't hurt me. That's number one. Number two, it's 2 days later, and not one of those three presidents have been fired. And I must tell you, the testimony was terrible. It was horrible. It was disgusting. Their apologies were worse than the testimony. Oh, by the way, they weren't apologies. They were, let me tell you what I meant. But as I said yesterday, it's not even what they said. When you have a chance, go look at the video of them coming out to explain themselves. They might as well have been reading the menu from the Cheesecake Factory. That's how much emotion they had. They with the teleprompter and scripted. They might as well have been looking at the menu at the Cheesecake Factory and just saying, well, ooh, that Bang Bang chicken looks pretty darn good. Ooh, but maybe, dessert time. Oh, the Godiva cheesecake. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do that. But let me go back to the appetizers. Ooh, that avocado salad. That looks pretty darn good. Yeah. Wow, okay. All right, waitress. That was the motion they had. So just so you know my opinion, they're Jew haters. They're teaching hatred of Jews. That's their culture on these campuses. How do we know it? Just go look at the videos. And these people, whatever, are about as uneducated doofuses as one can possibly be. It is so factual that Israel left Gaza in 2005 and just dropped the keys off and got the hell out of there. There's video of Israel pulling Israelis out of Gaza, crying about being taken out of Gaza. The occupiers have been Hamas. They're the apartheid. They're the scum. They're the ones, if you're gay, you're dead. Try being a trans, you're dead. Yet I see signs, trans for Hamas, gays for Hamas. What? Now, I don't know if these people are doing their homework or just, there's this thing called, hey, I'm just a follower. And let me finish it off. Here's the shame of this whole thing. Do you know what CAIR is? It's the Council on American Islamic Relations. That's what CAIR is. Do you know CAIR has a relationship with the Biden White House in how things are talked about and looked at? They're in close hands. CAIR happens to be the most prominent, preeminent defender of Islam here in the United States against Islamophobia, and rightfully so. Anybody who's racist against Muslims in this country sucks. I have friends that are Muslim. I have people that I consider family that are Muslim. They're terrific people. And we don't look at them as Muslim. We look at them as people. So you have this CAIR, and you have Nihad Elwad, the CAIR executive director, the head honcho, top dog, big cheese of CAIR, on video, posted all over Twitter X, and I posted it. He's happy about October 7th. He's happy about October 7th. He's happy at what happened on October 7th. And it's on video. I can't wait to see how he comes out of that. But I was thinking to myself, this man is representative and representing the many from CAIR. And I would gather most, if not all, disagree with this yutz. He's just taken an organization down a bunch of notches. It's unreal. I'm happy about October 7th, where women were raped by a few men at a time and then shot in the head as they were being raped. Babies burned and beheaded. Children shot. All videoed and sent to families. Kidnapped. Elderly. 30 countries. By the way, they killed Muslims. There's not a lot of that talk, is there, that they killed Muslims? They didn't care. Just anybody moving. The executive director said he was happy. This is what we're dealing with here. And it's 2 days later, and these Jew-hating, racist, bigoted, anti-Semite presidents still have their frickin' jobs. And my hope is every wealthy donor to these colleges, whether they're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, whatever, gives them the big, gigantic middle finger and doesn't give them a frickin' dime, that Congress defunds them, and then let them figure it out. Up next, the markets. I got some good things to say. Look how we segue. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Hi, I'm Gary Kaltbaum, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we'll carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you to where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call is 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. Investment advisory services offered through Kaltbaum Capital Management.
It's time to switch on the integrator units and get the brain cells working.
You're listening to
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Investor's Edge
The last bastion of quality programming.
with Gary Kaltbaum.
It doesn't get better than this.
And for the record, we don't want to have to talk about this at the beginning of the show every day, but it's so vital. It intertwines so many things about where this country and the world is going. Culturally, economically, every which way. I really wish I can turn back the clock. No, I really do. I taped last night's debate. I've watched some outtakes. Without even mentioning, I think 4 people left, I personally would have been running circles around them. And in a debate with the guy who's going to be the nominee of the Republican Party, I'd be running circles around him also. They're all missing something very important. We'll do that another day. Okay. We segue, because that's what we do here. We're professional segwayers. Not the Segway you ride, but segue. What we just simply try to do here is guide you away from what you should be away from and towards what you should be paying attention to. And when wrong, be wrong fast and be wrong small. And when right, try to let them run as far as the eyes can see, which, as we've always told you, is the toughest part. It really is. It really is the toughest part for me. and others that I know. I did some selling in the last week or two, and some of the sells were terrific. A couple of them, after today, are now higher than where I sold. And, of course, because, we're all Monday morning quarterbacks, should I have sold? And, of course, the ones that are lower, oh, no, that's good. The ones that are higher, oh, darn. But that's the simple goal here. So we start out with the most important part of the equation. No, really, it is the most important part of the equation. No, really, it is. The most important part of the equation. From July to October. And we don't have to go back years. We just want to go back a little bit because we've had some terrific, quite the amazing change of complexion, kind of coast to coast. From July to October, every day we're saying to you, interest rates are going higher, oil prices are going higher, and 80% of the market is in downtrends. And on a daily basis, we were on this show saying, avoid this, that, and the other thing. Every day. At the time, we said the only thing really you can look at is some of the oils, not all. Some of the mega cap tech, which is what we did. We bought some mega cap tech during those months, and we actually made money while everything got trashed. At its worst, the Russell 2000 was back to bear market lows. Bear market lows. 1,000 stocks were at new yearly lows. And then came the end of October. And we thought there was a chance. Well, first things first, sentiment got really extremely bearish. Really bearish. No. Really bearish. And that's a start. And then we noticed that the 5% yield on the 10-year cannot be penetrated. And then we saw what we considered to be potentially, we weren't sure yet, a top being put in place on yields. Again, wasn't 100% sure. But then the process started. Down, only rally up some of the down. Down, only rally up some of the down. The stair steps lower on yields. And then oil prices. So the exact opposite. The things that drove the market down, all of a sudden, starts driving the market up. So on November 1st, we had something called a follow-through day. Now, I didn't invent the term. William O'Neill, I don't even think invented the term. It just has to do with, it's a characteristic. It's only one day, and it's just something that we use along with what we do. And all that means is it's a characteristic that every time the market got better, one showed up. But not every time one showed up, the market got better. But it's a characteristic that always shows up when the market turns. And all it means is the market puts in a low, and then a few days later you got this big, gigantic follow-through confirmation day. But you also need stocks, and you need leadership, and you need constant. What do I mean by constant? You need the stair steps to go higher. And since then, what have we been telling you? Avoid oils when we were saying it was oils, and the 80% of the market that was in downtrends, the floor lifted. And then one by one, the stair steps started going higher. Where the worst areas of the down move have been lifting. Airlines, cruise lines, they were crushed. And now they're strong. Financials, crushed. Strong. Housing, blasted. And now they're strong. Small caps and mid caps, they were dead. Now strong. And strong is a relative term. Just right now, they're in what I call gear recovery mode. That's all we want to do. So we're just letting you know, coming into today, that's the story. And at the close of today, we'll have that up next with the numbers and much more. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to
America is talking.
Investor's Edge.
He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
With Gary Kaltbaum.
Comes highly recommended. You're going to feel better if you talk to him.
So, let us continue. By the way, let me just segue back. The guy from CARE on Twitter, or they call it X now, name of it is, he gives the organization a bad name. And anybody involved in the organization. Now, just so you know, I am 100% sure, 1,000% sure, he's going to come out and explain himself. Well, kind of like, I meant the Palestinians, and but I didn't mean the terrorists. And we know he's full of crap. And that's what happens right now. You get caught. Oh no, I didn't mean that. No, I didn't mean that. And as you know, we don't want anybody losing jobs. We don't want that for anybody. But a lot of people are losing their jobs because of the iPhone. And how stupid people are. Applauding terrorism will have you lose your job. I just want to let you know that. If you didn't know, you're in trouble in the first place. Terrorizing anyone, any race, creed, or color or religion, you're going to lose your job. The iPhone, and whatever phone somebody has. Oh, it's an industry. And I got news for you. The people against anti-Semitism didn't invent it. You know who invented it? The people that are anti-Semitic. A bunch of the woke Marxist crowd. Do you know they put up a video? Oh, I segued again, didn't I? They put up a video of, I think it was Harvard or Penn. Go look. How they were whining, complaining about fat phobia. That how dare you, when somebody's overweight, how dare you? And that is a violation. Not context, like genocide. So they're getting blasted. They're getting blasted. And people are losing their jobs. People are losing their jobs. I still remember I told you the story. I was going into a Target, and I held the door open for a girl. I'm going to guess she was 19. And she F-bombed me for opening the door. I said, I'm just being nice. What? You think I'm a woman? I was just being nice. And if you were a man, I'd open the door for you too. And she takes out her phone and she starts videoing me. And I said, I was just opening the door for you. As she was F-bombing me. And I'm thinking I was going to go on Twitter or something, but she didn't. She realized, obviously, she went home and said, well, I'm an idiot. And nothing ever came of it. But that's what is going on out there. People are losing it. The good news is it's a small sliver of society, I think. All right, back on. So we want you to continue to avoid oils. And if we start and are able going forward to name other sectors, you will know the market's worsening. Here's the good news. I can't name other sectors yet. I would avoid oils. I would avoid a bunch of the Chinese stocks. Not all, but a lot of them. And then there's a smattering of not good. I would avoid a bunch of the drug stocks. I mean, gee whiz, Pfizer, big bear market. Bristol Myers, big bear market. In the past, we've been telling you to avoid the drugstores, CVS and Walgreens. Even they're turning the corner. So we won't tell you to avoid them anymore. We certainly ain't buying them. But even they are turning the corner. So just letting you know how this will work and how this works. When markets are better, we continue to keep score. And very simply, if one day we're able to come on here and say, I think the financials have topped. I think this other area is topped. This other area is topped. Now, we'll come out and say we're seeing some distribution, which is heavier selling. That doesn't mean you're topped. That doesn't mean you're done. That doesn't mean the stair steps are heading down. And that's that. At the close today, yields on the 10-year, 4.129. It was at 5. Oil prices, my goodness gracious, $74. Actually, the light sweet crude for January is 69 and change. Wow. You see what the price at the pump is? Way down. And that's what's helped. And then when you have a chance, you go look. Boy, airlines are going higher. Boy, cruise lines are going higher. What's their biggest expense? Oh, that's right, oil. So these things that were getting murdered, they're in their own uptrends now of unknown time and price. We never know how long they last, how far they go. The regional banks really trying hard. They've turned the corner. Stair steps higher. We'll see how long it lasts. We're all for it. And then, of course, there's the earnings reactions. You have a workday, great gap to the upside. Unfortunately, as I speak, Lululemon gapping to the downside, $21. Broadcom, which had been a very strong semiconductor name, I got it down $27 in the aftermarket after being up today $18. So that's the other part of the equation, and we're in a territory now where there's not a ton of earnings reports. As we head towards the holidays, the next big earnings season going to be around the third week of January. So there's your story. And amazingly, oil stocks even lower today, oil prices even lower. And may I state for the record, that's with OPEC trying to get them higher. Now, in case you don't know, we are producing the most oil ever here now. The big oil companies said, screw it, we ain't listening to nobody, and they are producing. I think that's part of the equation. The bigger question, and we do not have the answer yet, is the lower oil prices and lower yields telegraphing the economy? Well, I can tell you my own economic channel check. You know, we just had a 5% GDP. we're going to do a 1 this time, which is not the end of the world. It's only a quarter. We'll see what happens after that. And as far as the market, we'll just follow the bouncing ball. No breakdowns as of yet. Some deterioration recently? None. You know, we've had some deterioration recently? Some of the big tech. What was the strongest today? Big tech. You know what the announcements today were? Well, here's the interesting part. Before today, a lot of the artificial intelligence announcements have been ignored. Today, Advanced Micro Devices announced something. Google announced something. Amazon announced something. And somebody else announced artificial intelligence, and it turns out there's this artificial intelligence conference. I think it's in New York. And I got news for you. Great moves. Google has been dead money, acting terribly off last earnings report. Up 5% today. Volume heavy, but just back in range. AMD, not been doing anything. Bad reversal yesterday. Up 10% today. They came out and said this new thingamabob that they're thingamabobbing with. It's going to add $2 billion in a nanosecond. Market liked it. Up next, what else moved? And whatever else. Yeah, I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to
What are we waiting for? Well, what are you waiting for?
1, 2, ready, go.
Action!
Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum.
By the way, I just want to go back to something on the debate last night that I haven't watched all of it yet, but I do know what went on and what didn't go on. We told you before the first debate, and they've had 4 right now, if they don't go after Trump with a ferociousness, they shouldn't even be up there. Because they're, just so you know, Trump is Usain Bolt. And the rest of them are like me running against Usain Bolt. That's where the poll numbers are. And for what I know, Vivek Ramaswamy kisses Trump's ass. By the way, this guy Vivek is just Trump Jr. Let's just call it that. He's out yesterday saying that, January 7th was fixed, that it was planted. It was done by the FBI. That's what he's now saying that now. Nikki Haley, didn't touch him. Chris Christie's been going after him since day one. And who else is left? Pence is gone. I forgot who's left. Oh, DeSantis. He touches him a little bit. If I'm DeSantis, I'm ripping the stuffings out of him. But no. And what's going to end up happening now is Trump is still way ahead. Now, the interesting thing will be, if one person's left, and I think right now number 2 is Nikki Haley, then who gets DeSantis, Christie, and Vivek's followers? And does it get them closer to Trump, or does Trump get a bunch of that? I don't have that answer. Anyway, I just think they're all... Well, Chris Christie went after him, but the rest of them, stupid. You got to know what your target is. They're not up against Biden right now. They're up against Trump. And I think they blew it. And Trump's going to be the nominee unless something happens with these, how many charges does he have? 91? And you do realize he's going to be found guilty of some, and some of them are jail. And I don't know the timing of it, And let me say this for the record. These DAs don't like them. These prosecutors don't like them. They can't stand them. They hate them. And Trump is stupid. He keeps blasting them. You don't get anything out of blasting them. You just piss them off more. And they've got evidence, and they have testimony on record from people that worked with him, for him, beside him. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, how it plays out, but man, he's in harm's way. The dude is in harm's way. And you can say it shouldn't have been done, whatever. I'll let you decide all that, each and every one of you, but I deal in facts and reality. I'm not so sure he's living in reality yet. And just so you know, I don't mess around with this stuff. I've studied it. I've read up on it. He's in the crosshairs. We'll keep you up to date. Okay, so what was the story today? These companies announcing AI. I actually came in today worried. Tell you flat out. Recently, we've had distribution in the market. We had a real bad, vicious negative reversal yesterday in the market. And we're talking the big cap tech. And they zoomed them up today on announcements. And we're not going to say they were convenient announcements. We're just going to say they were, and it's not the news. It's how things react to the news. So let me describe them for you. Advanced Micro Devices, up almost 10% today on 123% volume. And setting up pretty darn well to go higher off their crappy numbers. That may be going to start accelerating. That's first and foremost. Booking Holdings, which had nothing to do with AI today. BKNG. Looks like it wants to break out of range here. The problem, it's a $3,200 stock. If you want to buy 10 grand, you're buying 3 shares. Just letting you know. NVIDIA bounced today off the 50-day moving average again and is just in a 6-month trading range, but holding vital support. Facebook looked to be in a little trouble. Made the announcement on AI. Holds the 50-day moving average today and bounces off of it today. Needs some more work. Google, which was probably dead, up 5% today, back above the 50-day on volume, and now gets watched again by me when, for the last while, we really didn't have to care about it. Amazon, they said something today. Needs to break above 149. Sitting tight. Adobe, these are the big names, top 10. Hanging in there. They report in 6 days, nothing to do. I just took a pretty good profit in it. And it's up a few bucks from where I sold because I'm so smart. Apple edged above a little range Tuesday and is staying there right now. The old high 198.23 closed at 194 and change. Broadcom. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Closed at 922 today. I got a 900 in the aftermarket. Down $22. They reported earnings. And has been under pressure. I sold that. That's a good sell. I sold that 75 points ago. Whew. Dang. Take luck over skill any day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. So those are the big names because the NASDAQ was up 193, NASDAQ 100 up 234. And I'll be the first to tell you, I was worried about coming into today with these big names, but the AI announcements did the trick, and the semiconductor index, that was under a little bit pressure. That was up 101 today. Holding some support. And we'll see whether Broadcom hurts it tomorrow. Don't know if it will. We'll see. Not a clue. And the fact of the matter is, as we always tell you, you got conference calls, you got overnight, so you never know if things change overnight. And that's your day. Tomorrow I should be on with Neil Cavuto in the noon hour of Fox Business Network. Check that out. And you Do have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like I do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Have a great one, everybody. Stay well, be well, and just remember 2 things. We're very logical, and we give a crap. Have a great one. Stay well. Bye-bye.
This has been Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum on BizTalk. To listen to past episodes or to get in contact with Gary, go to GaryK.com. That's GaryK.com.